Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I would like to talk about one of my favorite books ever, which is Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. So in the first part of this video, I will just talk about why you should read this book if you haven't already, and I will give you my general opinion on this book. And in the second part, I will be telling you how to pronounce the names of the characters. So as you may know, I'm Russian, so of course I know how to correctly pronounce the names. So if any of you are struggling with pronunciation of the names of the characters, then you can go to that part of the video and find out how to pronounce them. So there will be a timestamp for this video if you want to find it in the description bar below. But first, let's talk about this book and why I think you should read it. So I have this very old copy of Master and Margarita, which is in Russian. Of course, you can find translations in English and it's published, so it's not that hard to find. Since this is a book that anybody can easily access, there is really no excuse to not read this book. But basically this book, why it's so amazing is, first of all, the story is absolutely amazing. So we have three different plot lines. The first plot line takes place in Soviet Union. The main character in that plot line is Satan, who visits Russia or Soviet Union, and he has a few of his helpers that are with him, and they come to Moscow and they do a lot of crazy things, and it's a very satirical description of the people of the Soviet Union, and just there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of very cynical things happen here. So it's very fun. Yeah, there's a lot of humor. Even though this book does have a lot of seriousness to it, of course, it covers a lot of very important topics, but it's also fun at the same time. So I think it would be great to kind of have a laugh when you're reading about all the crazy things that the characters do. So the second plot line is about, of course, Master and Margarita, so their love relationship. The Master is an author, so he does have some issues when writing his novel and everything like that, but the love relationship between them is not a very normal and obvious one, so they have a lot of troubles, they have a lot of problems, and yeah, it's not easy for them to be together. So throughout the whole book, their stories scattered around. There's a lot of magic in this book too. Margarita also goes through some magical changes towards the end of the book, so it's just an amazing story to read about. And finally, the third plot line is the most complicated and kind of the most serious, and that is about Pontius Pilate, I hope I'm pronouncing that right in English, I'm not sure, and Christ. Their story and their plotline is kind of connected to the plot lines of other characters, but the way these whole three completely different stories are connected together and they make sense, it's just, I think, absolutely amazing. It kind of goes back and forth, but it connects together perfectly. So yeah, this is just an absolutely outstanding book. Of course, the writing as well is super amazing. Of course, the writing as well is just beautiful, and I'm not sure how it is in English because I've never read the English translation, but I'm sure that it's also really good. Of course, if you know Russian, you have to read it in Russian, but either way, I think this book has to be read. If I had to choose one more thing that I love absolutely the most, apart from the plot, is of course the characters. The characters are absolutely amazing, all of them, whether it's a positive character, even though it's hard to find a good character in that book just because everybody is so complicated. Any character you pick, you can see why they will be really interesting. You may not necessarily love them, but they're still going to be super interesting to read about and figure out all of the different layers that they have, even the minor characters. If you want to read this book, not just for the plot, but also for the characters. And now that I've mentioned characters, I guess we can start talking about how to pronounce the names of them. So you may know that in the past I did a few videos like this, like how to pronounce the names of characters of Dostoevsky and Tolstoy's novels. So finally there's another part to it. So let's get started. So I guess we will talk about the main characters first. So the first character we have is the Satan, and in the book he's called Voland. We just basically say Voland. Volan. Next character is the Master, and it's also quite easy to pronounce in the Russian way, although you don't have to because it's not his first name. But if you want to say it in the Russian way, we will say Master, Master. The third character is Margarita, also very close to the Russian way of saying it. So we would say Margarita, Margarita. And the fourth main character in the story is the homeless Ivan, I guess you would say in English. And in Russian, we will say Ivan. Ivan. The next character we have is the sidekicks of Voland, and the first we have a character has two names. So the first name of his would be Fagot, and the second one would be Koroviev. So he kind of has two names because he does. If you read the book, you'll know why. But the first name, again, we will say Fagot, Fagot, and the second name will be Koroviev, Koroviev. Another sidekick of Voland is Azazela. Azazela. It might be a little hard to pronounce, but it's Azazela. And the third character in his group is the cat, the black cat, and his name is Begemot. Begemot. And Begemot actually means hippo, like it's an animal, but the cat's name is Hippo. But if you want to say it in the Russian way, that would be Begemot. Alexander Ryukhin, who is the poet Alexander Ryukhin. Alexander Ryukhin. Next character we have is the acquaintance of the master, and his name is hard to pronounce. It's Aloisi Magarich. Aloisi Magarich. So Aloisi is his first name and Magarich is his last name. The next character we have, who is a spy, and his name is Baron Maigel. Baron Maigel. So his last name is Maigel. Berlioz Mikhail Alexandrovich. So first, his last name is Berlioz. Berlioz. His first name is Mikhail, not Michael. Mikhail. Mikhail. And his father's name is Alexandrovich. Another character we have is Basoy Nikanor Ivanovich. So his last name would be Basoy. Basoy. And his first name is Nikanor. Nikanor. That is a very old name. I don't know if anybody else these days is named Nikanor, but that is more of like the old times name. So Nikanor. And his father's name is Ivanovich. Ivanovich. Another character that works at the theater and is kind of important to the story, his name is Varinucha Ivan Savelyević. So his last name is Varinucha. Varinucha. His first name is Ivan, again, Ivan. And his father's name is Savelyević. Savelyević. Another character who is a literary critic, and his last name is Latunsky. Latunsky. Another character who is the director of the theater, and his name is Likhadeev Stepan Bogdanovich. Likhadeev is his last name. Likhadeev. His first name is Stepan. Stepan. And his father's name is Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich. Another character is Poplavsky Maximilian Andreevich, which is a very long name, but he is an uncle of Berlioz. Last name is Poplavsky. Poplavsky. His first name is Maximilian. Maximilian. And his father's name is Andreevich. Andreevich. Another character who is the financial director of the theater, his name is Rimsky Grigory Danilovich. Rimsky is his last name. Rimsky. His first name is Grigory. Grigory. And his father's name is Danilovich. Danilovich. Another female character that is kind of minor, but I still want to mention her. Her name is Frida. Frida. So I think these are all of the characters that are important to the story and the names of which you should know. Of course, there are many other characters, but there's so many that I can't possibly mention all of them. Plus, they're more of a side character, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. But if you can pronounce the characters that I have just mentioned, then I think it would be good to go. So yeah, that's basically all of the things that I wanted to tell you guys today. So I really hope you do check out Master and Margarita and read it and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you already have read it or if you're planning on reading anytime soon. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!